I'll kind of just start out big picture. Texas College Bridge includes 60 Texas colleges and universities. Over 500 Texas school districts have signed up and 300 have active students. 95,000 student courses have been signed up for, with over 60,000 completed courses. So it's really a significant and quickly growing strategy in the state. It's happening in a lot of other states to solve remediation issues across the state. So we're really, really excited. Lots of colleges, I don't know when 60 colleges and universities in Texas agree to do anything together ever. So this is a really big deal, and just want to say thank you to many of the colleges in this room that are helping to drive that. So first speaker and panelist, Travis Hill from Mesquite ISD. So Travis, really excited for you to share a little bit of your experiences at Mesquite. And given the center panel, we'll have to fill in a few gaps here. So you got it all pulled.
You got it right here.
Very nice. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how Mesquite is approaching Texas College Bridge and what you're doing with the tool?
I'm excited to be here. My name is Travis Hill. I'm the CCMR facilitator for Mesquite ISD. So I work in the accountability world in the sense of getting our high schoolers ready to go for any and everything for post-secondary access, right? But that also involves career and college transition, that involves college fairs, that involves financial aid applications, that whole side of things. But it also involves anything advanced academics as well. So dual credit, AP classes, on-ramps. I'm kind of the district level person for all of that access, right? One of the things I do get to do is I get to work with Texas College Bridge, right? And so we know, if you don't know, right, Texas College Bridge does count for one of the indicators for accountability purposes for K through 12, A through F accountability. And so it is a big deal. This is our third year using it in Mesquite ISD. Since I live in the accountability world, let's start with some data and some numbers, right? Because that's where everything has to come down to. Mesquite ISD has almost 40,000 students, right? So we're a pretty fairly good sized school district. Last year, these are all numbers from last year, we had 2,778 students in our senior class. We have 5 comprehensive high schools. We have a 6th high school that just opened up last year that doesn't have seniors yet. So we'll expand there down the road. Those 2,700 plus students translated to 41 sections of Texas College Bridge English for 995 students. That's a lot, y'all. 29 sections of math for 882 students. Once again, that's a lot. Now there is a substantial amount of crossover, right? We know that a student who might not meet in English might also not meet in math, and so some of those are going to be the same, right? But that's still a lot of numbers overall. We did have 24 teachers across all of our schools training to do this. But kind of one of the wins is that we're about to start our 3rd year. Our 1st year, I won't lie, we rolled it out a little late, wasn't good. It was just kind of like hey, you teach this class now. Good luck. You know, there's an online platform, cool. And it was all self-paced learning, and that was it. Don't do that. It's that simple. Okay, so that's how year 1 went. Year 2, we actually had training involved that we were able to give to teachers on campuses. But because we are not a district that likes to micromanage, we still said, hey, here's your scope and sequence, here's your curriculum, we want you to run with it, but you can do it what works best for you and your students, which, once again, works well sometimes, doesn't work well other times. We had some students who finished it in 2 months. We had some teachers who pushed their students to finish it in 2 months, and they failed. I mean, it was just kind of wide across the board. So we're going to refocus some things for this year. However, the most important thing, though, is that from year 1 to year 2, like last year, y'all, we had it was just better overall because people started off at the beginning, right? English, we had 77% passing in English. So out of those 995 students, 77% of them were able to successfully complete Texas College Bridge. They were able to get that TSI indicator so that they could not take remedial classes as they transition into higher education, right? For math, 83% passing. So once again, great, much more success. Now we've identified some areas where we're going to work with as we go. But these are all numbers. Numbers are great, but if you don't have any student responses, then you're not going to know. So one of our math teachers at one of the campuses actually polled her kids, said, hey, what do you like about Texas College Bridge? And these are some of the things that they said. I feel like Texas College Bridge is a great way to test your knowledge and a good way to learn. Or study the problems by using the Learn button. It's simple. It's a simple app where you can learn and improve on your skills. I like it. This method makes me feel confident as it hasn't failed me yet. It can be tiring, but it works. It makes me feel like I'm utilizing what has been given to me. How often do your students sit in class and go, hey, am I really going to use that? These are math students, by the way. I want to make this very clear. I think the Texas College Bridge is really supportive in refreshing your mind about math. It accommodates your learning through your knowledge and helps you. And finally, it's easy to make steady progress without a lot of stress. So we had a number of wins whenever it came to Texas College Bridge in Mesquite ISD. But this is how we got to this point. And this was last year, and some of these strategies are going to transition into this upcoming year as well. First of all, your campus has to know what it's for, what it's about, and why your students are doing it. If your campus doesn't know it, then your teachers aren't going to know it. If your teachers don't know it, your students aren't going to know it. And if your students don't know it, parents don't know it, and they don't know how to translate all of that information to partnering institutions whenever they graduate. Right? So counselors and registrars had to know for placement. Right? So at the end of the year, we ran a big old list of any student who had not hit a CCMR indicator, who could possibly be in English or math, and we said, here you go, run with it. We don't want you just to toss them all in. We want you to identify students who would be successful in this program, and that's how they work with it. Teacher intentionality, once again, Texas College Bridge teachers, they know how to work the program, right? I mean, they want to be able to help students as they go. But the big shift this year is that we're actually shifting to teaching it as a class. So while the platform is online and it does give a lot of access so that students can go in and jump out, we would have classes that were entirely dependent on the teacher. With teacher support, you would have 98%. Without teacher support, you would have downwards to 40 to 45%. And so teachers who would actually teach the class, no joke, 97, 98% completion. Teachers who didn't teach the class but just let students hop online and just run with it, you would have some teachers that would get their students to 95% completion, but some teachers who wouldn't. And so we kind of made the collective decision to work with curriculum and say, let's embed this into what we're doing. You teach the class as it's an English 4 class. Every couple of weeks, hop online and see where you are in your assessments. Because we know ultimately from data that we have from last year that works better than just saying, run with it, good luck. And then also we restructured our course alignment. There are a lot of ways that you can put college prep in your district. Some districts, they'll code it as a 0 period so that students just do it on their own. Don't do that. Students won't do it on their own. They're seniors. They have enough things going on. Some of them are working jobs, multiple jobs even to support their families. Don't make this an additional thing just for the sake of doing it, right? It is not what's best for the kids, just straight up. So let's look at this year and going on in the future for Mesquite ISD. First of all, continue to build the net intentionality with teachers, right? My big focus this year is let's work with more teachers. Let's make sure that they have the training, they have the access, and they know what's going on. Most importantly, we want to focus on students who actually need it. College versus non-college attending students. We want to give students the mindset that you can be successful, but we know some students straight off the bat when they come in as seniors go, I'm not doing this, I'm not going to college. Okay, we have a conversation, and then at the end of the day, you either go on or you don't. We want to make sure that you're able to support those students. So correct placement, correct support. No offense, we want to lower the number of classes we have. We have been running on, CCMR is weird, because it's only been around for a few years. We've been running on a reactive model of CCMR accountability instead of a proactive model of CCMR accountability. So what it is that we wait till students get to be seniors and we go, hey, let's just toss them all in here, they'll be fine, they'll get the point done. Instead of preemptively and proactively going, let's work with you for SAT supports, which means we work with you for PSAT supports as a 9th and 10th grade. Let's give you TSI training. Let's work on industry-based certifications. Let's get those new programs of study. So we want to find an alternate way so that it's not just a dump at the end of the senior year to go on from there, right?
Thanks so much, Travis. And it sounds like you've been talking to the Contigo team. I know the Contigo's here and they're being very intentional, helping school districts think about their strategy. So very much along those lines. I think we want to turn to the UNT system plan this year more intentionally about students coming in. And I know that there was a challenge identified. More and more students post-COVID were coming in with some college readiness challenges. So we have Dr. Noreen Khan here, mathematics professor at UNT Dallas, who's been leading the UNT system response. And so, Dr. Khan, would you like to kind of talk a little bit about how this is organized and maybe the first test of 30 students and how the UNT system, using the same system, same curriculum as Texas College Bridge, but from an intake perspective?
Hi, everyone. Is it working?
Yep.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my first time here, but I'm very happy to be with all the intelligent people working towards the same goal. I was part of UNT Systems Texas Success Initiative program we launched this summer as a boot camp. And there were two components. One is the residential and the other one is fully online. UNT brought in 30 TSI incomplete for face-to-face boot camp for 10 days, all day, working on an EdReady program. And we have 100% completion. All 30 completed their Texas initiative in math within the 10 days of the boot camp. And we have other group, other cohort working fully online, which is 185 TSI incomplete students. They are still working and it's ongoing. But we have seen 60% have completed so far, and they still have time till August 12th to finish the program. UNT Dallas is in the work is in progress. We are going to launch another residential boot camp, but the boot camp will start in August. First week of August is still underway. We have seen huge success students taking math EdReady completion in this platform and not getting bored. And 100% success is key to go, and this is our first time implementing. But there was a whole lot of work involved with the teacher support, and we have TAs involved, and the motivation was the key, keep them motivated to work on math problems all day long. But the good news and the joy I have seen students doing the work is not getting bored. They knew this is necessary, this is for them to be college ready, and they have to do this, but they were so motivated and not getting bored was the first time experience in my life, seeing students working all day on math problems.
What's the secret formula for that? Working all day on math problems and not getting bored?
Well, we have not taught or we have not offered any math course more than 3 hours per week. But here you go, like they're working, they start their laboratory work in person, 9 a.m. and they leave around 5 p.m. And the formula was to keep them motivated. This is going to save you thousands of dollars in tuition and 2 years of developmental courses. That was the motivation. It's a reminder. We keep telling them, hey, you are so close, you're gonna do it, you have to do it, and they keep doing it. And once they knew the program is really working and their score is moving up, they were just amazing and they just feel like they are ready to graduate university. And that's the joy and the happiness I saw on their faces. We still have the online group working, but since they are fully online, But we keep ourselves, our support team available throughout the day, over the weekend also. So I have seen till last night, 67% completion.
So you have two models. You have an in-person model and an online model. Again, as Travis mentioned, the importance of coaching and having a coherent plan with students. And we just appreciate the UNT system and thank you for your leadership. I know we've been talking to UTA and others about engaging with the same curriculum. Wouldn't it be nice if higher ed and K-12 used the same curriculum to support students and getting aligned? So just to kind of close this out a little bit as we transition to the last presenter, I wanted to just kind of share with you the NROC NReady program is kind of the model citizen of showing up at a state level and helping move data forward. So we have partnered with NROC and supporting the Texas College Bridge. NROC every night through APIs has data automated daily into and through a data integration platform and to a state CRM that we're supporting. That state CRM has an API that flows right into districts in real time. So imagine, and also NROC is through the Texas state testing number as the routing number, putting credentials right into the student's digital wallet. What if ACT did this? What if College Board did this? What if our colleges who are teaching dual credit and assessing TSIA did this? And what if we get data in real time in the hands of K-12 partners so they can respond, understand where students are? And I think this is really important in terms of the data architecture. This is the first time this is happening in real time. And so, Tony, maybe just closing us out, and where we've been helping put the data first is in DeSoto ISD. So I know that you've been leading that with Mark as an example so that we can now open it up for all the districts who really want to use this data.
Okay, so we all agree that this is an amazing program. We all agree that we need adults in the process in order to support the students to have a greater success rate. How can you monitor and see exactly what it is or where it is that your students are that are enrolled in this program? Well, I'm so glad you asked because Mark and I have worked on a Texas College Bridge dashboard. So the information that is flowing directly into that system for Texas College Bridge is also flowing, as Eric said, into the actual high school itself or into the district itself. And so this is an example of what the dashboard looks like when you have your students who are enrolled in Texas College Bridge that are working on that. You can see your total number of students. You can see how many that have completed the stage 1 and stage 2 process. You can see who's completed the diagnostic, when they enrolled, first logged into their accounts. There's so much information that rolls up out of that TSI data report that all sums it up here. So it makes it easy for those who are managing and directing and providing assistance to really drive the work behind the scenes. So it'll make it easier for Mesquite ISD to be able to talk to those teachers and really have those in-depth conversations along with strategies on how to improve on what they're already doing so great at.
So I really appreciate everyone kind of showing up and just seeing the progression of how a school district is engaging, how higher ed is engaging with the common set of personalized learning tools, and then how we make the data work and how we make the data actionable for partners to be able to manage that. So let's give a round of applause for our panel.